Besties, let's get right into it. No one is coming to save you. Didn't catch that hot take? Let me repeat myself. No one is coming to save you. Not your partner, not your parents, not your boss, not that perfect opportunity. No one. And the moment you realize that that harsh truth is reality, that's the day you become free. That's the day you stop wondering why life is happening to you and realize it's happening for you. It's the day you stop waiting for your life to begin and start running toward it. If you didn't like that hot take, stop the episode. This is not for you. If you're feeling a little attacked, but very seen, you're in the right place. I'm your girl. This is your podcast. Welcome to The Real Her. What up, besties? Welcome to The Real Her, the unfiltered podcast for ambitious, funny women who want it all. Real relationships, real success, and a real life they actually love. I'm your host, Christina Fusco, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and your new hype woman in life, love, and business. Each week, we're flipping the script on traditional business podcasts and focusing on the women behind the business. We're here to laugh, we're here to cry, and most importantly, we're here to dominate together. So go ahead, pour that favorite beverage, let your hair down, and let's get ready to unlock the real her. First off, if you didn't think I was wearing this hot pink suit for my first episode, you're crazy. I've been promoting this thing on Instagram for months. This has become my staple. I won't wear it for every episode, but had to pay tribute to it on the first. So let's dive into it. Here is your warm, official welcome to the Real Her podcast. I can't believe we finally made it here. Like seriously, I can't believe we made it here. I have wanted to quit at least 100 times prior to this day, but I didn't. I'm here today and you're here today, and that tells me one of three things. One, you're one of my longtime friends who's trying to support me, and I just want to say thank you. I may have forced that support on you, but nonetheless, it is appreciated. Two, you're someone who's known me for a long time, and you're probably wondering, what is this girl up to? Well, this is what I'm up to. And three, you're a business bestie I've made along the way, and you're wondering, why would I listen to this podcast? Is it actually relevant for me? Stick with me, ladies. I got you. Let's dive into it. It was exactly 1 year ago when I said the words out loud, I want to start a podcast. And I immediately was excited, like head to toe. I felt it in my body that this was the right decision and that I wanted to do it. But as I said it out loud, it also felt super inconvenient because there was a lot going on in my life. I had a full-time W-2 job in tech. I was moving into a brand new apartment after a 5-year relationship ended. And my current business was in absolute chaos because of the fires that had broken out in LA last year around this time. So the thought of starting another project, a podcast, not an option. I did not have the time and the space for it. Something about me is I have this really fun brain. She loves to never turn off and loves to constantly generate new ideas. Some ideas stay, a lot of ideas fade because again, life, we're all juggling so much stuff. So I figured this podcast idea, it's gonna fade. But then it didn't. As I was deep in the weeds of my current business, trying to get it to stabilize, my mind kept slipping and thinking about the podcast. I literally felt like I was having an affair. Like I felt guilty for operating in my first business and thinking about doing something else. Wasn't my first business my baby? Wasn't my first business supposed to be my everything, my ticket to success? And then the real guilt crept in. The guilt that was telling me, maybe you're not disciplined enough to be an entrepreneur because you can't even stay focused on this one thing. Maybe you're just giving up and trying to quit and looking for that out. Maybe you're not doing enough to see the success. Months later, when I decided to start working on the podcast, I had to push that guilt aside because the calling I was feeling was so much stronger. The desire I had to start this project was so much bigger, but leave it to the other bestie fear to come crawling right in as soon as we get started. You haven't been in business long enough to start a business podcast. You haven't made enough money. You're going to be judged. You haven't accomplished enough to deserve a microphone. Let me say this, forget fear. Fear is always going to happen. It is your brain literally trying to keep you protected and safe. But fear has no grip on what's actually happening in reality. Fear doesn't define you. Your actions define you. And for me, my actions have always led me in the right direction, whether I knew why or not at the time that I took them. Like the time I hopped on a plane, I flew 3,000 miles from all of my friends and family to a brand new city living alone. Or the time I decided to open an LLC for my 27th birthday and ended up turning profit within the first year and grossing over 6 figures in revenue. Or the time I completely blew up my life. Watched it all burn, watched it fall apart, but trusted myself that I would figure it out once the dust settles, that I would become a better person on the other side of that. So yeah, despite fear, being an action taker, that's my strength. Being a go-getter, that's my strength. Being a connector, a motivator, a mentor, a positive freaking person, that is my strength. Even if I didn't feel ready, I learned time and time again that I didn't need to be validated to be visible. I didn't need to be validated by the world telling me what I could and couldn't do. I could decide what I could and couldn't do. And that started with taking simple actions. This podcast is about being visible. It's about showing up as our authentic selves to go make more impact in this world, to help other people, to inspire, to connect, to laugh. That's what this podcast is about. If you're a crazy biatch like me who chose entrepreneurship as her path, you probably needed a hug at one point, but you chose to build your empire instead. And I'm here to tell you, in this space, you don't have to be strong. Here, you can let your hair down. You can laugh, you can cry, you can exhale and be seen. You can just be you. The Real Her is about humanizing ambitious women. It's about the women behind the business. It's about the women who are juggling their empires while also juggling families, relationship failures, grief, self-doubt, personal reinvention. In a world that is increasingly becoming more automated, we are doubling down on becoming human, on focusing on the human experience and the human connection that we were all put on this earth to experience. It's really crazy, actually, that today is the birth of the podcast because it's also one of my favorite people's birthday, my dad. And it actually wasn't my intention at all to launch on this date. But I see a medium. Her name is Diana. You will absolutely love her when you meet her because you will. And we were on a call talking about this podcast. And she asked me, are you planning to launch it on your dad's birthday? She seriously said the words to me, are you planning to launch this podcast on your dad's birthday? And I said, I don't think so. That's not my plan. But the second she said it, I knew it was it. I knew this day had to become the day. There was no other day that would work for the launch of this podcast. This was the date. Because not only is my dad one of my favorite people, he's also my biggest why. When I was 12, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. And from there, I spent the majority of my life living, watching him in sickness and in health, in sickness and in health. I was 26 years old when he died at the young age of 65. And that experience tore me to shreds. What are you supposed to do when the person you've relied on your entire life, the person who is a mentor, is a source of truth, is a compass, is the person who's supposed to carry you through your entire adult life, and suddenly they're gone? In a lot of ways, I look back at that day and I realize that a part of me died that day. The person I was, she died that day too. Because that's what grief does to you. It changes every single cell in your body. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I tore my ACL just a few months after my dad's passing. My mind was already in the shitter. And then my body decided to give up on me as well. I was a 26-year-old healthy girl who is now spending 3 days a week in PT with old people, respectfully, old people who were just having knee replacements. And I'm sitting over there learning how to re-walk, not being able to bend my knee, not being able to ride a bike. I am someone who's usually so active, so busy, constantly on the go. And now I'm bedridden. I can barely walk. My mom's helping me to do everything, and I have a grieving mind. This was my rock bottom. These were the darkest days of my life. After months of wallowing in my sorrow, pitying myself, eating comfort food into oblivion, my awakening came. No one was coming to save me. The old Christina, she was gone. And it was up to the new Christina to figure out who we were going to be. I kept asking myself, who would my dad be proud of? Who could I be proud to be someday? And slowly but surely, I got to work. I started listening to podcasts. I started reading books. I started journaling. I started meditating. I went to therapy. I did all the things I could think of to go on a personal reinvention journey, to experience self-growth. I did all the things to learn, to heal, and to grow. And then after months, one day, all that preparation has to have action. You cannot just go on a journey of reflection and sit in that. After reflection comes action. I'll never forget it. It was a sunny day in April of 2023. I got on a call with a random stranger who told me he was going to help start a business in 30 days. I looked at him, I handed him $10,000, and I said, change my life. Change my life. Call it desperation, call it impulsive, I really don't care. This man probably could have told me anything, and I would have still handed him that $10,000 because that's how badly I wanted to be anyone else than who I was. And don't get me wrong, every single alarm was going off in my brain. I had the stranger danger. I had the internet is a scam. Don't listen to anyone. I'm pretty sure this is like a parent's worst nightmare. But despite that, and sorry, Mom, if you're listening, I pushed forward. I handed that man my credit card anyways. Yes, my hands were shaking. Yes, my palms were sweaty. Yes, I knew my bank account was about to be drained. But I did it anyways. I pushed forward and I ran toward a life I knew nothing about. And that one decision changed everything. So let me say this one more time, and I hope you understand this time it is with love. No one is coming to save you. But that's okay, because today is the day you realize you get to save you. And honestly, as someone who's been there, I think that's way better than waiting on anything or anyone else to try and save us. I am here to run with you, to leave this world better than we found it, to make impact together. So bestie, it is time to get to work. It is time to wake up and run toward your life like it depends on it, because it does. And with that, welcome to The Real Her. I'm Christina Fusco, and I will see you next time. Hey besties, I want to close out this show by saying thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you loved this episode as much as I did. If you did, please do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and share the episode with a friend. That way we can keep growing this movement and reach even more Real Her besties. And for your daily dose of laughs, mindset, and behind the scenes chaos, come hang out with me on Instagram at Christina_Fusco. That's Christina with a K _Fusco. All right, my ladies, until next time, keep it real, keep it fun, and keep becoming her. XOXO, your biggest hype woman.